welcome you to the Grand-Duche of Luxembourg, the scene of this weekend's 500cc World Motocross Championship. And it's here in the little town of Ettelbruck that nestles quietly in the wooded mountains some 10 miles from the Grand-Duche itself that the climax of today's most closely fought motocross champion is going to take place. A good close-up shot of number 2, Graham NOYCE, last year's runner-up in the 500cc championship, of course. He was plagued rather a lot last year with some nasty-looking injuries, but this sport's all about toughness, and these boys have nothing but toughness under the belt. We have a Hosbana go through in one of his practice sessions. That looks like Lawrence Spence on the very familiar red-tanked Maico. Number 18 there, it's like a distinctive trials rider as he manoeuvres this 500 two-stroke Honda around the grass area of Ettelbruck this afternoon. There he is, the man himself, the big American, Brad Lackey, powering that big 500 Suzuki, as we all know he's capable of doing. And there's one of the favourite men that the British fans have come to see. Dave Thorpe. Gets a wave, he acknowledges the wave now, and obviously they're giving him some sort of time lapse, having a friendly word there with his fan. This is what makes some of these boys very, very popular indeed. As he fires up the green bean for Kawasaki, he drives off back into the maddening crowd. Big Dave Thorpe. He's at the start area now where the practice start. There beside him comes number 3 on the Yamaha, Hakan Carlquist. Very, very fast man indeed. As you can see, so many of these machines have this pro-link suspension. Very, very adaptable to keep the back wheel where it should be on the ground at all times. A very, very fast start from Hakan. That big, big American, Brad Lackey, very, very popular rider indeed for the States, on the Suzuki, of course. A distinctive, stylish helmet this year, I see. We look into the foreground and we see quite a melee of riders practicing, trying different stances, just testing the ground for the right sort of tyre pressures when they get back, because remember, they've got to be able to relay with their mechanics what sort of tyres to use, what sort of tyre pressures to use, what sort of jetting. It's Vromans, Andre Vromans. They're very, very smart looking yellow outfit this afternoon, for those of you who are black and white. The course itself looks in really, really tip-top condition. As you can see, they've got a fair amount of greenery, but on the track itself, it looks so it could kick up a little bit dusty towards the Grand Prix. When the Grand Prix approaches, it looks like it could get a little bit rutty and a little bit bumpy as you can see some of the riders going there, fighting their machines from left to right. Remember, this is practice sessions only. This is very, very important to the mechanics once they get back from their respective laps. Lackey. As we take our first glimpse of the Ettelbruck Hill, we take a little bit of time off now to introduce a very popular Britishman, Dave Thorpe.
Nice to see you again. This has been your first full season of Grand Prix. How are your feelings about the way the season's gone for you?
Well, I'm very pleased with the season. A few disappointments with crashing in America and not being able to race in America and Canada. But it's very difficult to go through a whole season without actually getting hurt and missing any meetings. So 2 meetings is not a bad average. So really, on the whole, I'm very pleased.
In tomorrow's GP, here at Ettelbruck, how does the Ettelbruck track compare to the other tracks that you've ridden this season?
It's very English type going, adverse cambers, grassy, banks up very quickly. It's getting a little bit rough at the moment. For the English boys, I would think it's one of our best tracks, probably better for us than Farley is because you can pass around more easily around this track. The other tracks tend to be completely different from me. Graham and Neil are obviously more used to them than myself. They tend to be a lot faster, big jumps, and of course you've got the Dutch sand, which personally I don't like very much, but yeah, today should be very good.
So Ettelbruck is probably, as you say, probably your favourite track?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, the next question, barring accidents, hopefully you'll win tomorrow, but barring accidents to the 1983 season, how well you've done this season, what are you going to be satisfied with next season?
Well, I hope to start 12 Grand Prix, race every week, and I think I've got a chance of getting in the top 3 next year. If I get myself in good shape in the winter and get a lot of practice in next season, hopefully top 3. If I can do it all 12, maybe I can win it, I don't know.
Well, we certainly hope you do, and I would say that 99% of the supporters from the United Kingdom hope so, and good luck to you and Team Kawasaki for 1983. Dave Thorpe, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Once again, very early hours of Sunday morning, as the public begin to pour in their masses, as I look at some of the riders. There's Neil Hudson, I see there, donning a very, very attractive looking helmet. Dave Thorpe comes out, big Dave, obviously hoping for a little bit of lady luck on his side. Neil Hudson comes in close quarters, he's gone through. Very attractive young lady there, obviously from the host nation. There it goes out. Look now at Neil Hudson, nice close-up shot of Neil Hudson. That looks like Bill Bucker is a mechanic. The American Bill Bucker, very, very popular man on the mechanics camp. Anything to know about these two-stroke machines. Martin Carlquist there, having a little word with one of his many admirers. Bruno sets off for his obviously time trials. These are what we term as time trials. This will distinguish their lap times, obviously in accordance with grid position. So it's very, very important at this stage that they get the fastest possible practice starts, plus practice laps in. Because grid positions are very, very important indeed as they take their way up the Ettelbruck Hill. Looks like Neil Hudson going up there. To flash by the Ettelbruck Hill. Now that looked like NOYCE. It's so difficult to see, obviously there's so much green on these trees, particularly this time of the year. We watch eagerly now as the riders come in from their time practice. Their number 18 distinctive trial stance again, as we saw earlier on. Andre Vromans comes into view. The 63 there comes into view. Obviously he's very pleased with his time with a big broad smile on his face. NOYCE mechanic there looking a bit, well, not quite sure, despondent, what have we. Obviously it's a very, very tense time, not only for the riders but for the mechanics, because everything they put into it has got to be 100%. So it's like CARLOVIST coming through. Yes, it's CARLOVIST and the Yamaha. He seems quite pleased with himself, a big broad smile as he goes by. And we have a good shot of a single white power, followed by Neil Hudson. Very, very popular rider back home, Neil. There's the big American boy himself, very, very popular, Brad Lackey. Number 2 is Graham NOYCE, better known as Rolls Royce, as you saw on the back of his leathers. Gone through there, his name written right across his backside. There's 2 very, very attractive young ladies. May I be so bold and call them young ladies? You never know these days. But the people still there, look, there's British fans there with the Union Jack float upon themselves. Obviously these are very, very partisan crowd, not like we get back at home in some of the sports that we get involved with. Right, Grand Prix points table. 1, Lackey, 206 points. 2nd, Vromans, 202 points. 3rd, Neil Hudson, 151 points. Graham NOYCE, number 4, 148 points. Thorpe is definitely the fastest in training. Number 1 grid for Dave Thorpe. Brad Lackey goes next. So obviously Brad did very, very well in the time trial. Vromans, so obviously Vromans put in a very, very quick time. So as expected, really, the top 3, 4, 5 men are really beginning to come into their own. Obviously the battle lies between Vromans and Lackey. That's where the excitement's going to be, not taking nothing away from the rest of the riders, but CARLOVIST is into view as he wheels his machine to the start line. All eyes now on their favourite riders as they come down that narrow pass. NOYCE goes through with a distinctive patch, maybe call it a patch, Rolls NOYCE on his leathers. So there we see Lackey, CARLOVIST, Vromans, Thorpe. Right, this is where the tension really, really tells. See if Hakan CARLOVIST goggles down. It's the man with a stopwatch. Any second now, I think we will have these 500cc motorcycles for the Luxembourg Grand Prix underway. Come forward, is the word. Come forward, come forward. I'm not satisfied until the front wheel is on the gate. Obviously, you see, as soon as he's gone by, they just roll back into their different positions. They've obviously got their little superstitions. Hudson takes a word of advice from the starter and he goes straight back again. 32nd ball goes aloft. Remember, this is heat 1. They're off for the 500 Grand Prix, the Luxembourg Grand Prix, and they're off. First to show, and there's very, very tight left-handed bend. Now the dust is really being kicked up from the start, so at the moment it's very, very impossible to see the leading contenders. Looks like Lackey. The helmet of Lackey goes through. Now is it Lackey? Vromans looked well up. Carlquist. I see Hudson. It's NOYCE. As NOYCE takes the right-hander, the power goes on. Behind NOYCE, there's a whole gaggle of riders go through. It's so difficult at this point in time to try to pick up the place to go through. Spence has gone through, really well placed. Remember, on the first circuit, they do not take the Ettelbruck hill, not until they get themselves sorted out, because the moment they're really in close contention, and the leaderboard is really beginning to hot up now. There's the leader into the arena. Comes NOYCE. He goes around the outside. Vromans goes through. There's Thorpe. There's Dave Thorpe. Dave Thorpe goes through on the Kawasaki. ROND goes through. There's a whole melee of riders there, twitching and turning. Left foot goes out, right foot goes out. The suspension is really working overtime as they try to pull themselves through this field. Remember, you've got to get yourself up in these sort of conditions, because when the stones start to fly, it hurts. So the nearer you can get to the front, the less aggravation you've got to pass. Take a little bit up the Ettelbruck hill goes now. Now, was it NOYCE in the lead as it was on the first lap? Is he still in the same position? It's very difficult from this. VANDENBROECK goes through. So go out into this very, very attractive looking course up the hill. So it's very difficult from my commentary point now to see the actual leaders as they go through until they come back into my view. But down the hill comes NOYCE. In hot pursuit is Carlquist. Vromans and Lackey neck and neck. NOYCE, an absolute full-bodied slide there on the outside, but on the inside goes Carlquist. Carlquist on the inside. NOYCE holds him. Hand goes out to say thank you. I've got it. Vromans, Lackey, that's how close it is at the moment. Thorpe, Dave Thorpe goes well on the Kawasaki, really beginning to make the punches count now. Lawrence Spence, an absolutely fantastic ride by the Maico mounted rider. Lawrence Spence on the inside. Remember, it's one of his first Grand Prix, so he's out to prove himself. The Yamaha goes through. We've got a Suzuki coming around the outside. Maico mounted VANDENBROECK. Already the dust is beginning to fly. The stones chip off. As I said before, it is very, very painful when these hit you at about 60 miles an hour. These sort of machines are traveling in some parts, and the stones really do fly. Any moment now we should be back with the leaders. Will it be NOYCE? Will it be Carlquist? Will it be Lackey? Will it be Thorpe? It is so close for that #1 spot. It's Carlquist. Carlquist goes through on the Yamaha. Who will be second? It's NOYCE. NOYCE second. Vromans third. That's how quick they go by me. It's Lackey. That big popular American goes through. Hodgson and Thorpe neck and neck. BK goes through. What a tremendous pace these lads. Semix, another American. Semix goes through. Lawrence Spence goes through on the Maico. Sintonen, again on the Yamaha. These 500 two-strokes really do knock up some brake horsepower, and to try to keep that back wheel in the momentum that gives them the drive they want is really, really asking a lot. But these lads are really turning out this afternoon. Look at the way they're going around these corners. It's so all hell's let loose. as Belgians absolutely going mad for their rider. And there he goes, Carlquist goes through, and NOYCE. Hudson, we had a quick glimpse of Hudson going through it. Spence, so fast and furious. Goes Carlquist as he really powers the throttle back from Vromans, and look at Vromans go after him now. There's Lawrence Spence with a bit of tape on his right hand foot. Right hand foot sounds a bit ridiculous, but he had tape, so obviously he's come to collision with something or other on the track. Come on, says the crowd, come on. Finger points. Now, will it be my rider, he's saying? Will it be my rider? What's happened to him? This demanding circuit this afternoon, taking some riders by surprise. Carlquist has gone through. There's Vromans, side, speedway slide, side goes Vromans. There's Lackey, distinctive style of Brad Lackey, followed by Dave Thorpe in hot pursuit. Dave's really turning on the power on this 500 Kawasaki. Neil Hudson, not. Where is Graham NOYCE? Graham NOYCE is gone from the scene. Where's Graham NOYCE? Graham NOYCE was right up with the leaderboard, as I see. Well, he's gone. We haven't seen. We can see Union Jacks being flown all over the place, but Carlquist goes through for the cheers of the crowd. Vromans, look at Vromans going. Vromans absolutely flat out, as does Dave Thorpe. Look at Dave Thorpe having a go. Another rider goes through on the Yamaha. Neil Hudson goes through. Pico goes through. Lawrence Spence goes through. The Maico rider, what a tremendous race. Semik's going through. It's so fast and furious. It's very, very difficult to find the leaders at this point. There's Carlquist. Look at this, taking everything into his stride. What a fantastic, smooth ride. Vromans going through. Equally stylish rider. He's gone away a little bit. Brad Lackey's trying everything he knows, but he cannot peg back his two leaders. There goes Dave Thorpe. Dave Thorpe in that distinctive green meanie, the Kawasaki. Who's behind Dave Thorpe? Neil Hudson. Neil Hudson. There's Pico. There's Pico on the Yamaha. Lawrence Spence on the Maico. Letting the suspension do the work for him. Semix, the American, goes through. This is really beginning to hot up now as a few of the lesser riders go through. Taking an angle away from him, but look at Hakan Carlquist from 4. Vromans, absolutely full-body slide. But look at Lackey beginning to make up ground. Lackey is really going, being urged on by the Americans. From Dave Thorpe with the back wheel going everywhere as he powers his big 500 Kawasaki. Here comes Neil Hudson into view as the British crowds go wild for very, very popular Neil Hudson as he brings the Yamaha back into line. Left foot goes forward. Here comes Pico, number 42. Pico goes through. We're looking for Lawrence Spence, and there he goes. Maico mounted. Lawrence Spence, very, very tight reins on that handlebar as he just pulls the back wheel through the bumps. Gary Semix, very, very fast. Gary Semix goes through. There's the battle hotting up now. Lackey with Vromans in front and Hakan Carlquist just in front. 1 lap to go, remember. Dave Thorpe goes through, left foot down. Dave winds up the power on the Kawasaki. Next man into view should be Neil Hudson, and it is. It's Neil. Neil Hudson, absolutely giving everything he's got this afternoon. Remember, points are vitally important in the first leg. There's Pico. Lawrence Spence on the Maico. Lawrence Spence goes through. Gary Semix. But we're waiting now. Will it be number 3, Hakan Carlquist? Will it be Vromans, number 4? Will it be Dave Thorpe? There's the leader. There goes the checkered flag. And what a win. There's Lackey. What a close fought finish. There goes Vromans. So Lackey's got it. The very, very big, popular American, Brad Lackey. Absolutely brilliant ride as the lower orders riders come in now. Looks like Spence coming in now. Now where's Dave Thorpe? There goes Neil Hudson. Neil Hudson's completed his first. There's Lawrence Spence. So now where's Dave Thorpe? Now Dave Thorpe was nowhere near that far back. So what happens to big, popular Englishman Dave Thorpe? We look at the checkered flag, but no Dave Thorpe.
Le 58 Beau Edberg.
Coming on down to the 36, 33. Maico, but where's Dave? Where's big popular Dave Thorpe this afternoon? Oh, there's Dave. He can still manage a big, big smile. It looks as though he's trying to say the bike's broke. Well, that's bad news. Bike's broken in two. We gathered it. The bike's broken in two. What a sad, disconsolate Dave Thorpe. Just 1/2 lap to go. Results now coming forward. First, Carlquist. Second, Lackey. Third, Vromans. 4th, Hudson. 5th, Pico. So we have Sweden, the winner. USA, 2nd. Belgium, 3rd. Great Britain, 4th. Italy, 5th. What an absolutely fantastic first leg of this 500 Grand Prix from Luxembourg. So Lackey has just edged out a little bit from Vromans, but what a fantastic first round. Fireworks should certainly be to the forefront in the second leg. Here we have a little bit of a look at the Honda cam, and it looks like Graham NOYCE's spare bike as the mechanic lifts the back over. I wonder where his Grand Prix bike is at this stage. A close-up of some of the very expensive tyres they use today. There it is. There is Graham NOYCE's Grand Prix machine. So what's happened to Graham? We've just heard some very, very sad news from the ESET. Graham NOYCE is suspected broken hand. So that is very, very disappointing news indeed for Graham NOYCE. A broken hand is suspected. And obviously friends and relatives sitting around saying this was right, that was wrong, if only this, if only that, as the Suzuki camp. A few words of comfort obviously being banded around, but Marque Valkeniers comes into shot, the 125 rider. Danny Laporte, there he is, the very, very good-looking Danny Laporte, the 250cc leader at the very moment. Very likeable lad indeed. Remember, it's Danny's first Grand Prix season in Europe this year, so he's done exceptionally well. There's Dave Thorpe bike, number 37, the Green Mini itself. Obviously, there's going to be an awful lot of work to be done on that one before it's race ready. Seems very, very strange that a bike of this caliber, remember it's a Grand Prix machine, breaking down. Well, not breaking down particularly, but breaking in half. Very, very sad sight. There's the Dave Thorpe camp there. There's the White Power man himself, just doing a bit of adjustment to the shocks. In goes the oil. Very, very important part of motocross machinery these days is the shocks. They play such a dramatic part. You've got to keep the back wheel on the floor at all times. There's Lackey. Lackey's machine goes through the Suzuki. Big, big, powerful Suzuki. Well, what a welcoming sight. Food, you can almost smell it. A well-deserved rest for the riders, it looks. And obviously they've got to eat the same as anybody else, so it looks like they're in for some goodies this afternoon. So you can almost smell it for it makes you feel really hungry. Now comes the riders, just behind these very, very attractive young ladies, ready for the start of their second Grand Prix. Camel, obviously, as you can see, sponsor this Grand Prix this afternoon, as they do a lot of the Grand Prix. There's a very, very good close-up shot of Brad Lackey, sporting a very, very fine-looking beard. Someone there with a, looks like a banana stuck out the back of their head, but I don't think it is. Now, there's Daddy Thorpe. That's Keith Thorpe, of course, the very famous father of Dave. There's Dave himself, blue-helmeted Dave going through. Brad Lackey, the very popular Brad. Vromans there in the background. Very smart he is too, in the all-yellow outfit. And remember, it all rests on this last leg. It all counts on this last leg. So fireworks are going to fly in this one. Make no mistake about it. They all know the course they've got to take, and this is the big one. Here goes Neil. Cool, calm, collected Neil Hudson. A lot of the hearts rest on Neil, if not Dave. So we've got Lawrence Spence, of course, obviously is still one of very, very popular riders. Sinton just gone through there. Nice close-up shot of him. It's Gerard ROND. Very, very good campaigner indeed, Gerard. Very good campaigner. Obviously on one of the KTMs, not very many in this race today. A few years ago, There was a lot of KTMs about, not quite so many in this Grand Prix today. Suzuki, Kawasaki, Maicos, Hondas, Yamahas, but not too many KTMs. There they go, they're poised at the start. Any minute that metal gate will go down, they're off. Now will it be the very fast gating? Dave Thorpe, will Dave Thorpe, number 37, take it? But no, it's Vromans. Vromans goes left-handed. On goes the power, down goes the left foot. Remember, Vromans has got the first bend. The rider falls there in the dust. It looks as though it's number 34. Husqvarna, anyway, number 34, the Husqvarna man. Look at the crowd on the track, absolutely absurd. How can the riders see where they're going with the crowd on the track like this? Ridiculous. Number 6 goes through, Lackey goes through, look at it. Look at that lot, absolutely ridiculous. Just imagine this sort of speed, just one mistake, and then, unlike St John's ambulance, their equivalent will be absolutely eating up bodies in the back of the caravan. Absolutely ridiculous getting that close to racing. I know you want to enjoy the afternoon spectacle, but for goodness sake, give the riders a fair crack of the whip. Right, meanwhile, we'll look back at some of the tail end riders as they go through. And a big wheelie pull there, and another big wheelie pull there. There goes Hakan Carquis, a very, very stylish rider indeed. Pico's second. Look at that Yamaha go, absolutely fantastic, but the hands are in an unbelievable hand of Hakan Carquis. Precautionary right foot goes down, as on goes the power, the stones are flying. And the next man goes through, will it be Pico, who was in second place, being urged on by it is Pico. Lackey, distinctive flame red helmet of Brad Lackey goes through. Gary Semix, Lawrence Spence, and that's how close those two riders are. Number 7's just gone through, but where's Vromans? Where's Vromans in this one? 58 goes through. Well, where's Vromans? I can't see him on the leaderboard at all. Still trying to pick up Vromans, this is incredible. What a start he had as well, but there goes Carquis as he takes the outside line over, trying to pick out the bumps from Pico in second place. The cameras go flashing, right-footed goes Carquis. What a superb stylish rider this is. Carquis from Pico. Pico's got it absolutely broadside there as the crowd come out again for Lackey. Lackey goes through on the Suzuki. Hodgson, Thorpe, that's how close they are. The green meanie, Thorpe man. Spence. Lawrence Spence goes through. What a close fought race this is. There's Vromans. Now, what can Vromans do now to make up some time? And believe you, he's got to make up some time. Just taking myself back. If Lackey sits where he is, and obviously the man's got a superior brain, he's got it. He's got what counts, the 500cc World Championship. So Lackey knows, stay there, and you've won it. As we wait for some of the lower order riders coming through, but taking an away from this, it doesn't take 1, 2, 3 men, it takes a whole. There's Carquis, he takes that really bumpy line up on the outside. It will be second. It's Pico, still number 42, Pico second, with a distinctive style of Pico. Lackey, followed by Thorpe, that long stretching arm of Thorpe. Hodgson and Lawrence Spence having a right there tussle here. So, it's Hudson from Spence, as I can see Dave Thorpe out of line. There's Gerard ROND. Remember, the track now is cutting up really, really bad now as the ruts and the grooves begin to bring themselves out on these riders now, as I'm trying to watch some of these riders go through, and a very stiff right leg goes out there, so it must be really slippery, not with damp conditions, but extremely dusty conditions. It's getting really bumpy now. As you can see, the spectators there are well back off the track. If only they could do it in some of the parts where it's very critical to get your racing line sorted out. If you've got some, there's Carquis, back in the view comes Carquis as a break for commentary as he takes the outside ruts. Absolutely superb stylist. From Pico goes, will he take the same line? Indeed he does. Obviously, they've been watching the rider in practice going around. Lackey, Brad Lackey, as he throws the front wheel in the air. The suspension really working overtime as he goes through those deep, deep sandy ruts. Spectators urge him on there. That looks like Lawrence Spence beginning to make up ground. Hudson, in fact, it's Spence from Hudson. Look at that. That just goes to show how crazy they are. You've got lines there to keep behind, or tapes, shall I say. And they've broken the tapes and they've got back on the track. Absolutely absurd. Lunacy. Thorpe's taking a bit of a slow interest in this race. Obviously, he's got some mechanical trouble. Obviously, the bike's not broken half, but what a sad day for the big-hearted Dave Thorpe. Really sad day for Dave. Still, as they say, you can't win them all. The ruts are really beginning to get groovy now as they build up a bit of a berm on the outside, and every rider now is following each other in the one berm because they know anything off track means it could be fatal. Once that front wheel is in a different groove, then it's catastrophe. Husqvarna. Very few of those days gone by. Gone are the days where it used to be the Husqvarna Sweden used to dominate racing, but now, of course, you've got the Japanese taking so much of an active part in motocross. We've seen the likes of Suzuki, Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki to the forefront of motocross. There goes Carlquist. Carlquist takes the brow of the hill. From Pico puts the precautionary foot out as he winds back the power. Next man through as he pulls the front wheel in the air. It looks like Lackey did it. It's Lackey as he throws his Suzuki all over the track. There's Spence, Lawrence Spence still going extremely well on the Maico. From Neil Hudson. Now will it? Yes. There's Vromans. Vromans, not exactly the ride it was in the first cross. Gary Semix has got going again, so Gary's well up there. Look at the dust flying there. Now, obviously, if you're downwind of that, you've got one hell of an eye. So the obvious thing is to keep top end of that dust. They're really beginning to knock the dust out with these ruts now. As a lot of these tail end riders, and they're only tail end because they could not keep up the pace of the likes of Lackey, Vromans, ROND, NOYCE, and Thorpe. Nice slow motion shot there of them really kicking up the dust as the next rider comes through. Same line. Meanwhile, back with the leader, and it's Carlquist on the Yamaha. Carlquist goes through as the fans really cheer Carlquist from Pico. A very good shot there of Pico as he winds open the power on that machine. From Brad Lackey on the Suzuki. So Brad knows, I'm going to stay there, boy, and I've got this World Championship really sewn up. Lawrence Spence, absolutely fantastic ride. Really turning it on this afternoon. The best ride I've ever seen Lawrence turn in, and that's taken nothing away from the race I've seen before. Vromans goes through. The lovely broadside there for number 29 in hot pursuit. But it's purely academic now as Lackey knows he's got this one sewn up, if only he can stay there. What's happened to Neil Hudson? He's cruising on the Yamaha, number 35. Neil's cruising. What a sad day for the English lads, the way the machines are going this afternoon. That's Thorpe and Hudson out of the fray. Remember, we've lost Graham Noyce with a suspected broken wrist, so there's Lawrence Spence really holding it up for us this afternoon. Meanwhile, back in the view comes number 30. On the Husqvarna. It's very difficult with this dust flying to pick up the actual makes or even the numbers at the moment. Lovely shot there of the back suspension, really working overtime as these knobblies really tear into this loose dirt from Luxembourg. Every rider out there giving absolutely 100%. Most of the lines are being picked out for the practice time, so there's very little different lines being used this afternoon. The one rider goes through, they would tape absolutely wrapped round the front forks. Obviously, he's coming to a little bit of a calamity somewhere around the track. Meanwhile, back with the leader, superb stylist, Hakan Carlquist, well in command of this race, and he puts the Yamaha through its paces. There's Brad Lackey, the big American, the popular boy himself, Brad Lackey on the Suzuki. That's the right race for the next rider. Will it be Spence? And indeed it is Spence. Lawrence Spence, number 38, on the Maico. The red tank Maico as it flies on that left-hander from... Who will be the next? Will it be the same position as it was last time? In fact, we're back with the leader again, and it's Hakan Carlquist. And from Pico goes back into view. Pico goes round as he throws the dust straight in the camera lens. There goes Lackey. Absolutely fantastic view from this end. As you see the stones going, flying to the cameras. There's Lawrence Spence gone through on the Maico. Looks like Gerrit Semix is giving way. Obviously Gary's in another spot above this afternoon. This is really beginning to wind up these motocrosses this afternoon. Any moment now, it looks to me as though we're coming to the end of this absolutely fantastic 500cc Grand Prix from Luxembourg. And I would expect the photographers, hordes of photographers, making their way to the start and finish line. The arena will be absolutely full of photographers. There's Lackey. Lackey just goes through. Lawrence Spence goes through on the Maico. So any moment now we'll have a load of photographers down there at the finish. There they are. Just took a bit of a glimpse. So any minute now he will come across this finish line. There goes Ron on the KTM. Any moment now we should see the great man of motocross, Hakan Carlquist, this very popular rider. But remember, the world champion will be Brad, American Lackey. But there goes Carlquist. Now, has Lackey done it? The photographers rush forward, the checkered flag goes down. Where's Lackey? Don't say at this point in the race. But it's just the crowd, there he is, as the front wheel goes up, and he's acknowledging the crowd. Absolutely fantastic race. Everybody pours forward. What a fantastic motocross from Brad Lackey. I know we should be thinking of Hakan Carlquist, the actual winner, but the champion is all about the winners, and the winner this afternoon may have been Hakan Carlquist, but the winner overall is the big American, Brad Bearded Lackey. Brad Lackey. There he is being hoisted shoulder high. I can see the helmet, distinctive helmet colour of Brad Lackey being thrown aloft. Absolutely enjoying every moment of this Grand Prix. That's what it's all about. The adrenaline gets going over so many Grand Prix during the season, but it's the one where you know you've got enough points to do it. Will the machine hold up? And Brad Lackey had just that this afternoon. There goes the American flag there, the Stars and Stripes. If you can recall, Bruce Pennell was this year's Speedway champion. Now we have a motocross champion in Brad Lackey. So the Americans obviously have done very, very well indeed this year. 10 years have gone by, but the Americans have done it. What a fantastic array of talent coming from the States at this present time. And they are great ambassadors for the sport, they really are. Look at the spectators around Brad Lackey now. I bet the poor man thinks to himself, for goodness sake, let me breathe. But it's all the adulation that he loves. This is what it's all about. The result, Heat 2, first Carlquist, Sweden. Second, Pico, Italy. Third, Lackey, US of A. Fourth, Spence, Ireland. Fifth, Semix, US of A. So there we have an American in the first 5. But what a win for Carlquist. Absolutely superb from Sweden on that Yamaha. But as the saying goes, you only remember the winners, and the winner is... Now the shouts are going out for him. Brad Lackey, as the fists go up for Brad Lackey. Up on the rostrum. Look at the crowd, absolutely fantastic. The weather stayed dry, that's been really one asset this afternoon. Look at the banners there, Lackey. Very, very popular rider indeed. Just think, not too long ago, it was on about packing in the sport altogether. But obviously he's got that many friends around for that sort of riding this afternoon that he was put off that as he puts his sleeve across his mouth, wiping all that dust off his beard. There goes the champers. Down goes the champers. Brad looks round at all the onlookers with a big smile. it doesns really sink in at this stage. It's probably about another 24 hours before it really comes home that they are the new 500cc World Championship, and it was all done on the last round. Very fine shot of the Grand Prix victor there, Brad Lackey. So remember, it's Lackey 228 points, Vromans 217 points, Hudson 159 points, fourth was NOYCE with 148 points, fifth was Malherbe with 121 points, and sixth was a very disconsolate Dave Thorpe, who had all sorts of problems on this Grand Prix. One I'm surely want to forget, but one I will always want to remember, the Luxembourg 500 Grand Prix, with a superb win by CARLOVIST on the day, but the world champion, as I said before, is Brad Lackey from US of A. Well done, Brad. There should go the champagne. There indeed does go the champagne. Well done, and a very, very worthy winner, Brad Lackey.